Well, there we go. There we have it. Not quite to the end. One hopes. These mods work out. But I think I should still probably do a little bit of a wrap-up thing. I don't know. Part of me doesn't really want to. I want to leave it to the at the end proper, but I think it makes sense. We've got the credits started rolling now. So I've really enjoyed my past 2.25 years working through this series. I'm really quite sad that it's over. I did quite like this ending. This is a modded ending to allow the Citadel DLC to be played as an epilogue. So that was slightly different to what other people would have played it on their first ending. I played it on suggestion from Spiffy Squee, who he's a massive fan of the Mass Effect series. I think I remember hearing him say that he's played Mass Effect 1 a lot, Mass Effect 2 a lot, and Mass Effect 3 he's played once. Due to the ending, and knowing how much I've been enjoying this series, he didn't want me to play it and then kind of go, oh my goodness, this is a terrible thing. Having not seen what the original ending was like, I can't really comment. I'm rather intrigued as to why they blew up the relays, because I mean that was kept in here. Why have that happen if you're gonna? Because that limits what you can do in the future, because it's going to be a lot harder for people to move around, and it also kind of dooms people to live in whatever part of the galaxy they're stuck in. Right. So overall, I've really liked the story. Part of me wouldn't have minded it, and I don't know if this is in the original ending, if Shepard had died. That seemed to be what the story was about. I mean, we saw it in what Hackett was saying, is there have been sacrifices. Mordin, saving the Krogan, Legion saving the Geth, and then Shepard ultimately dying and giving his life for the entire galaxy. I think that would have been a good fit to it, especially like the way the story, like the bits of dialogue were, when we were at the base in London, seemed to be pushing down, seemed to be kind of hinting at it. Maybe that's going to happen. I don't know. Maybe I picked some of the wrong options, but I had the feeling that maybe we would have had a repeat of the Saren thing, or maybe that that's what they were going down the route of. It's like, no, with the elusive man, like I'm in control, blah 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 blah, and then actually, wait, no, I'm not really, kind of shoot myself thing. No, that's a bad thing. So yeah, I mean, what about the companions? I've done that in some other BioWare games, going through the companions. Edie, I like the fact that kind of she shifted her role to being a companion, but I didn't use her that much because I was trying to pick characters that made sense from a roleplay perspective, and probably failed miserably. But I was looking at I was thinking about it, and I understand it, and I quite like the idea of her being able to walk around a bit more, but I'm not sure I liked using her that much as a companion, just because it made more sense to leave her on the ship and for her to be in control of that, with Joker and kind of keeping him in order. James, quite different to how I originally expected him when kind of he's first introduced, because you kind of expect him to be kind of a traditional kind of rah kind of soldier, but there is a lot more depth to him, which I really appreciate, and I think that's really good, rather than having it be kind of a normal, kind of stick to that traditional thing. Maybe more expected route. He's the way he is. He's a much deeper character, which really helps that. Any other Mass Effect 3 characters? Javik. Taking him to Thessia is pretty much mandatory, I'd say. From his bits of dialogue about the Asari. So, and with the fact he's got so much dialogue and his character is I don't want to say the way I was playing him, kind of the anti-Shepherd, where the mission comes first. We must deal with the mission. Oh, I do have Citadel. Good. We must do the mission. We must do the mission. We must do the mission. He's kind of the prototypical renegade, whereas I'm as Paragon can be. But so I think it was quite interesting having the two characters together and just seeing how they interacted, because there were a few times where it's this kind of butting heads of like, oh, you should just be doing this, and he's like, no, because that's not what I'm fighting for. That's not why I'm doing this. I'm kind of, in a way, kind of sad that he's DLC. It kind of, you'd think he'd be more of a. You'd think he's kind of an important character to it. Not in the way that Zaid and Kasumi are kind of like, here are some extra characters with interesting stories to them, admittedly. He seems to be a lot more kind of intrinsic to the way the plot works. And obviously you've got kind of, by the looks of it, credits are going to wrap up on and see what happens. I'm going to wait before I go any further. What happens? Years after the Reapers have been defeated, the galaxy continues to rebuild. Many mass relays are now functional, and the Citadel has been returned to the Widow system. The Normandy is arriving to dry dock for maintenance. The crew, weary from rebuilding and maintaining order, look forward to shore leave. Hackett has told Shepard to visit an apartment once owned by Anderson on the Wards. That could be BioWare dialogue, the fact it goes through so quickly.
I just got word. Admiral Hackett found something you need to see.
Shepard, I bought a new place on the Citadel. Somewhere to recharge. Thing is, the longer I'm on Earth, the less I want to leave. You need a place that's yours. I want you to have it. Now, I've had a few personal effects sent there. Notes and such. Read them if you're bored. Who knows, you might find something useful there. And make yourself at home, damn it. I want as few loose ends out there as possible.
Alright, as we were saying, so other characters, Ashley, who's kind of returning. I wasn't sure what to do at the beginning, because obviously we kind of ended Mass Effect 2 on a kind of colder note. Oh, you're with Cerberus. And I think it was also kind of a fear of getting to... Shut up, you. Kind of a fear of kind of what happened in Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, which was accidentally nearly romancing someone while looking, while maybe thinking of someone else. In particular, Mass Effect 2, obviously, where we had Tali and Jack was asking me if I was interested. I'm just nice. I just want to be nice to people. So we were quite cold to Ashley to begin with. I like the fact that she's the next human Spectre. But obviously that's more of Councillor Dina making a power play because he doesn't think he can influence Shepard. Which is one problem I actually have with this game, is it wasn't, to me, it didn't feel well explained as to why Udina was now the Councillor and Anderson wasn't. It's kind of, that was a decision we made at the end of Mass Effect 1, and then it had a slight effect in Mass Effect 2, but it wasn't kind of, Anderson didn't leave in Mass Effect 2, so it kind of feels like, here's a bit of thing that we've decided just to do. Because you wouldn't be able to do the same plot. You wouldn't be able to do that plot if Anderson were in charge, because he wouldn't join Cerberus. So, or at least not a Cerberus who's acting the way they acted in this game. So, plot-wise, you needed it, but it would have been nice if maybe early on there was a bit of a note. Maybe he did comment on it and said, I decided to leave the council because I think I could serve Earth better here, back in the Alliance, but I can't recall. Maybe I'm wrong. Liara. Liara. She seems to have matured in this game. So in the first game, she seemed she was obviously very naive. In the second game, she was a little, in Lair of the Shadowbroker, she was a little bit kind of obsessive in a way, about Shepard in particular, but also a few other things. And then you get, is this the game ringing? Is that like a phone going off? Shush. Shush. I'm completely going the wrong way. Yes, there's something ringing. Right, we'll ignore it. And in this game, she seemed to be a lot more mature and a lot more kind of adult in that in that. Yes, she was. Yes, she would joke around. She wasn't like very like grr kind of adult. She was. Which is quite interesting. She seems to have kind of matured a lot more in this game, and I kind of can see why people would romance her. Okay, moving on. There's 2 companions left, I think, and they are probably my favourite 2, to the surprise of no one. Garrus and Tali. So they've been with us all the way through. I think Garrus probably. Is it possible not to recruit Garrus in Mass Effect 1? I think it is. Tali's with you all the way through. Tali has to be. Tali is my favourite. She's kind of, as she said in the end, she stood with us when taking on Saren and Sovereign. She stood with us when we were with Cerberus, and she's with us now. She's with us now at the end. And Garrus, for me, in my playthrough, was exactly the same. I see the 3 of them being a very good friendship group. Obviously, Drake romanced Tali, so in that case, more than a friendship. But I can understand why even if you didn't romance Tali, you can see why the 3 of them would be friends, because Drake and Garrus have an awful lot in common. I mean, especially I'm playing a sniper, so there's that. But these guys, it's a friendship forged in battle. Between the 3 of them. These are people who are fighting for their people, and they are fighting against the Reapers, and they've done it for at least 3 years in game. Like in game. In real life, it's been 2.25 years. And you can see that. Joker has had more of a prominent role. I like the fact that he didn't want to leave, which to me echoed back to the beginning of Mass Effect 2, where he didn't want to leave because he'd lose the ship, and he was risking to lose his own life and everyone else's for the ship. And now he's willing to do that for Shepard, and I liked that. I thought that was really good. Right. I'm sure there's some other things I could babble on and on and on and on about. We're not going to interact with anything here, because I'm going to call this now. And next time, we'll be playing through... I'm not sure how long this DLC will be, but we'll certainly be playing through part of it. possibly ending it, and then saying a final goodbye to Commander Drake Shepard here. I'm making myself sad. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for watching.